Hello everyone, welcome again to this Anatomy and Physiology course. At this moment, we will be talking about one of the fascinating topic in anatomy and physiology, the skeletal system that I think students would like to know. Now moving forward about your skeletal system, it is basically composed of the following. Okay, composed of the following. We have your B, C, T, L. What is this BCTL? Your B stands for bones, C stands for your cartilage, okay, cartilages. T stands for your tendons, tendons, and L stands for your ligaments. Now on the right corner, where you can see the following compositions of your skeletal system. Okay, right here we have your, this is your ligament, ligament. And this part is what we call your tendons. Okay, tendon. And your muscle is in the upper part, and this other part is your bones. Okay, your tendon actually is also a connective tissue that connects um, or binds from muscle to bone. Okay, right here your tendons is connective tissue that binds from muscle to bone or connects muscle to bone. Connects, connects muscle, muscle to bone, muscle to bone. And your ligament. What is this ligament? Okay, your ligaments is actually is a connective tissue that connects also connects connects bone to bone, bone to bone. If you can see here, this is the bone, the other one is the bone, so this is the ligaments. Okay, it connects from bone to bone. Okay, the other one is your cartilage. What is this cartilage, by the way? If you can see here in this part, this is actually your cartilage, cartilages. Okay, this part is your bones. This part is your bone. Okay, your bone. Okay, there's also a bone. Okay, your cartilage is semi-transparent, and it is also an elastic and a flexible connective tissue that covers the ends of the bones. If you can see, this is the bone. Okay, at the end part is your cartilage. The lower part is also another bone structure, and on the end of this portion is your cartilage. So that's your cartilage. Actually, your cartilage allows the bone to slide over another, and thus reducing the friction and thereby preventing also the damage. Okay, again, what is your cartilage? It is also a connective tissue that covers the ends of the bone. Okay, covers the ends of the bones, the ends of the bones, the bones. Okay, these are the basic compositions of your skeletal system. Just bear in mind we have your bones, cartilages, tendons, and the ligaments. Now let us also discuss the important functions of your skeletal system. Okay, skeletal system. First function of your skeletal system is for shape. Shape, because basically it's the bones that gives the body its structure. That is why it's for shape. Next function is for support. Okay, support. Why support? It's because the bone is rigid, so strong, well suited for bearing the weight. The bones of the legs, the pelvis, and the vertebral column, or also called as your spine, give support to the body and hold it upright. If you can see in the right corner, we have your spine, that is your spine, or also called as your vertebral column or the vertebrae. Next function of your skeletal system is for protection. Protection. Why protection? It's because bones protect delicate organs, the internal organs actually, like your heart, your brain, and the spinal cord. How are they protected? Actually, if you can see further, the image here in the right corner, you can see this is the thoracic cage or the rib cage, and inside of that portion actually is your heart. You can also locate your heart and lungs, the right and the left lung, in which this cage actually again protects these internal organs. We have your heart and the lungs. And another one is your skull or the cranium. Actually, your skull or the cranium protects your brain from any form of injury. And again, your vertebral column or your spine or the backbone actually protects the spinal cord. Here is your spinal cord, the posterior view. Okay, the spinal cord runs here. Okay, that portion again is your spinal cord that is protected by a bony structure. Again, this is your vertebral column. Same thing in here. That is also called as your spine or the backbone. Another function of your skeletal system is for movement. Take note, it is for movement. Why movement? Because it provides an extensive surface area for the attachment of the muscles that position the head, the neck, the trunk, and also muscles that perform respiratory movements. Also take note that your skeletal muscles, for example, attached to the bones by the tendons as again one of the connective tissue that I mentioned earlier, use the bones as levers to move the body in its parts. And as a result, again as I mentioned, since it performs respiratory movements, positioning of the head, neck, and trunk, as a result, we can walk, we can swim, we can throw a ball, and even we can breathe. Again, we can walk, swim, throw a ball, and we can breathe because of the movement as one of the function of your skeletal system. Another function of your skeletal system is for storage. Storage of what? Again, storage. Storage of actually minerals. like your calcium and your phosphorus. Those are examples of your minerals that are stored by your bones. And also, bones is the storage for fat or the adipose tissue. Take note that your fat is stored in the internal cavities of the bones. We call that your marrow. Okay, we have two types of bone marrow. We have a yellow bone marrow and a red bone marrow. The yellow ones consist primarily, mostly, by a fat or an adipose tissue. And take note that as a person ages, red marrow is mostly replaced by a yellow marrow. So the last function of your skeletal system is your correct. We have your blood cell formation. That is the last function of your skeletal system. Okay, your blood cell formation. Blood cell formation, take note, it is also called as your hematopoiesis. Okay, hematopoiesis. Hematopoiesis. Okay, what is this hematopoiesis? From the word hema which means blood, poiesis which means formation of. So, formation of blood cells. As I mentioned earlier that there is a two types of bone marrow. We have the yellow bone marrow and the red bone marrow. Again, the site of hematopoiesis or the blood cell formation is actually the red bone marrow, because inside the red bone marrow we have the hematopoietic stem cells that are able to give rise the three types of blood cells. We have the red blood cells, also called as your erythrocytes, the white blood cells, also called as your leukocytes, and the last one we have your blood platelets, also called as your thrombocytes. While on the other hand, your yellow bone marrow, actually as I said, it is mostly consists mostly of the fats or the adipose tissue. Actually, the fats there, if needed, the fats are actually released into the blood and used by the other tissues as a source of energy. So I think those are the very important functions of your skeletal system. Again, we have the support, we have shape, support, protection, movement, storage, and last one we have your hematopoiesis or the blood cell formation.